to start the windows, how to shut down Windows 10. We also learned that how to change the background and how to create a screensavers. So these things we have already studied earlier. We have also learned that how to arrange different icons on the desktop. Now moving ahead with our journey, I will be explaining you that what is File Explorer, what is this PC icon, then how to create a folder, how to create file, how to create shortcuts when you are working on your files. That means all things which are related to file management, file organization, this all we are going to learn today. Along with that, sometimes you need to open a file, you need to delete a file, you want to rename a file, you want to copy a file, you want to move a file. So all these we are going to learn in today's class. Then along with that, we'll be learning about title bar button. What is title bar buttons in Windows 10? That you will be learning today. Okay. Now, what is Windows 10? That's the first question we are going to recall, which we have studied earlier. Children, Windows 10 is one of the operating system which is given by Microsoft Windows, and it belongs to the family of Windows. Now, children, the main thing is what are the features? How this Windows operating system became so popular and so familiar to children. So, there are certain features of Windows 10. We are going to discuss them, right? So, first most important feature is that Windows 10 is a graphic user interface. That is, we call it GUI based operating system. So, what is GUI? GUI means there are some graphical images and you just click on those images, your work is done. Very simple to do. So, we say it is very, very user friendly. So, we have small icons. These small pictures are called icons. What do you call them? Icons. And you can carry out any task on the computer just by clicking on those icons. Okay, so that means you need not to remember such long commands which we used to do with character user interface, that is CUI earlier. That means it makes our learning very easy and it's so compatible to use. Okay, and it allow you to work on many programs at the same time. That means suppose you are listening to the music and you are doing to some work. Everything can be done all together. In the same way, suppose you are listening music and parallelly you want to play video game. So this is again like two things are going parallel. And not only playing and listening music, you could do different works parallelly on the computer when you are working on Windows 10. So we say it is multitasking operating system, right? So come, let's learn more about it. We'll be looking at File Explorer first. What is word File Explorer? So File Explorer basically is the file management application which is used in Windows operating system, and it is used to browse or to locate the folders and the files. You know what happens when you open the screen of the desktop, at the bottom you could see this type of icon. So whatever folders or files you are opening in the computer, all those folders will be visible here in the form of icons. See, at the bottom you could see this envelope. That means some mail is open. Then you have W. W means your Word file is also open parallelly in the computer. Then this is another icon, X, that is of Microsoft Excel. So another file with Microsoft Excel is open at the back end, which you could immediately open and access. And then we have MS Paint. So that shows the Explorer is just exploring and telling you what all files are presently open in the computer system. Okay. So it just gives the graphical interface to navigate and access the files which are stored in the computer. So graphical interface means you click here, this particular mail will be open. If you click here, the Word file will get open. So immediate access, you could navigate from one file to another so quickly and easily just by a few click of buttons. Interesting? Great. And now we will see how this particular file explorer window look like. So we start from the top left corner. Here you have a file explorer ribbon. In this ribbon, you have different options like file is there, home, share, view, quick access also exists there. So when all these icons are visible here and whatever you click that explores and opens further. Then what are the frequently used folders like from last 10 clicks or from 15 clicks, which are the recently opened folders? These folders are visible here. Like you might have opened desktop, chapter 3, then maybe you might have clicked on this downloads or documents. So these are the frequently opened folders which you have recently accessed. And amazingly, another very important thing that you will see here is the list of recent files. So could you see it's written recent files? So this makes it clear that these are some of the recent files which you have opened, which you have accessed on the computer. And it's not necessary that these files belong to the same folders. You could see the 01 file is in some other location, then 07 exists at some other location. So what will happen, instead, like suppose you want to open this Vidya Prakashan file once again. You might have opened it 2 hours before. So need not to go inside the folder and click and open it. You simply click here and you will be rightly reaching on this path to access this file. I hope it is clear to you. Now quickly you can try it on your system and feel comfortable. Now before we proceed further, I'll just tell you that this Windows File Explorer is going to help you to navigate from one file, from one folder to another very easily and very quickly. That makes your work quick, that makes your work fast, that makes your work prompt. Understood? So come further. I'll make you familiar with some other terms related to Windows 10. You get an icon and that is called this PC icon. Could you see this PC is here? So this is this PC icon. And once you click on this PC icon, it will show you what all exists inside this PC. Okay. Now the PC is divided into drives. We'll be learning about drives, folders, files a little later. So I'll just give you a brief view of what all you see inside it. So when you click on this PC, you'll see what drives are there. Okay. Here the drives you could see is the C drive and D drive, right? So if you click on any drive, it will show you what folders exist in that particular drive. So here suppose you choose drive C, so it will explore and show you what is there in drive C. If you click on drive D, it will show you what exists inside drive D. Okay. So that means it is just exploring view of the things which exist inside the computer hard disk. Okay. Now after that we talk about drives. So I was just showing you that there was C drive, there is D drive. What are these drives actually? We have a hard disk in the computer. You have studied hard disk is a storage device. Imagine that you have 1 TB hard disk. It's a big hard disk. And you have to search for a small file of say 100 MB or say 200 KB, small file. Now searching for that file in entire 1 TB memory, it's a very difficult task. It's a time consuming task basically. Like suppose I'll give you the example. Suppose you are looking for a knife in the house. So where are you going to look for it? Correct. You'll go to the kitchen and get it in the kitchen. So if you don't have any idea that where will you find knife, you'll go to the bedroom, you'll go to the lobby, you'll go to the drawing room, and then it will be a time consuming and a mess activity, isn't it? So the same thing happens when you store your files, folders inside the computer. So when you have a big memory, the storage space, the secondary memory, we divide that storage space and we call that as drives. And we name them as drive C, drive D, drive E. The partitions are done over there, right? So we say that hard disk of the computer is divided into partitions and we call those partitions as drives. Understood? Good. Now we talk about folder. So children, this is the icon of folder. And what is folder actually? Folder is a particular location for organizing and storing the files in the computer memory. Now you have divided the drives, and suppose some of the main software files you are storing in drive C and some other application programs you are storing in drive D. But still the memory is so large that keeping and throwing the files inside it randomly makes the things messy. And everything that you do on the computer should be well organized. Like you sit on your study table. Normally what you do, you have a cabins, you divide it. Here I'll be putting all my books. Then I'll be putting my notebooks. Another cabinet is there. There you'll be putting all your stationaries. And this all make the things very systematic and organized. Right? So in the same way, when you put your files in the computer memory, what happens is, say you have some of the files storing the data of half-yearly exam. Then you have another file storing the data of, say, midterm exams. So what will happen if you don't store them separately? It's going to create a mess and you'll be lost in finding those files time and again whenever is required, and the work gets delayed. For that, we make the folders, and this is the way you store the file of similar categories in different folders. Got it? Great. Now, the question arises, how are these folders created, children? So, there are two methods to create the folders. I'll be telling you both of them. You can use any one you like, you feel comfortable. So, first method is, you'll be going on the navigation pane on the file explorer, and there you are going to click on the drive on which drive you want to create a folder. So once the drive is clicked, then there is an option, there will be a drop down menu, and you'll find a new folder option there. Just click on the new folder in the toolbar and the new folder is created like this, and you'll get this new option. Now getting this menu can be done in another way, very simple way. Just right click on the desktop anywhere, but it should not be on any of the icon, on the plain space of your computer screen. Okay. Then what happens is, when you click on the right click, this particular shortcut screen comes. We call it a shortcut. On this shortcut, you could see new option coming. Just click on new option. Another drop down will be there, and here you get an option. This yellow color icon is there. You click on the folder and a folder is created, right? And later we'll be learning, we can rename this folder. Like the first folder is created, it will be showing it with the name folder 1. Then we'll be learning how to rename this folder. Okay, enjoying the class? Wonderful. I could see the smile on your face. Lovely. Now, what is actually a file? So we have been talking about files, folders, but what is a file, children? File is the collection of related information which is stored together in the storage device. Okay, suppose you have a Word file in which you are storing text with images. So a Word file is created which is storing images, your document, everything is there. So each file in a drive or folder has a different name. Like you all have different name. Every person is given a different name in the class. You all are 50 children, suppose. So every child has different names. So what is the purpose of having different names? So that we are not confused. In the same way, there's a good trend that you give the name to your file and store it in the computer memory. So, like we were talking about the Word file, I'll tell you how to create a Word file. Okay. So, next thing we are going to learn is creating a Word file. Again, we have two ways to do it. Let's see the different methods how to create a Word file. Okay. So, first thing is, method one is you have to go to MS Word application. Just find MS Word application on the desktop. On the bottom left side on the start menu, you click there. You will find MS Word there. Click on MS Word application and then type the document. You will be opening a document of MS Word. You start typing the document there and then you save the file, going to the File tab, and there is an option Save over there. So if you don't click on Save, you have a shortcut also. What is the shortcut? On the keyboard, you could see a button Control. So just keep pressing Control button and then press alphabet S. Control is not released, remember. So when you give the commands all together, remember Control has to be kept pressed. Then you press alphabet S and it is just a shortcut to save the file of MS Word. Right? Now we have second method as well. So I'll be telling you, you are on the desktop, just right click on the desktop and then you have a new option. So when you go on the new option like you did with the folder, here this drop down menu will come. On this drop down, after folder, after shortcut, you could see different icons. So here you are going to click on this one, Microsoft Word document. So just click on Microsoft Word document. Instead of going to the application, the Word document could be created on the desktop itself. You need not to go to the application and open it. So we say this is a shortcut to open and create a Word file. Right? Now, how to open a file or folder? Now, very simple thing is that you have a file or the folder which already exists in the computer memory. The file has to be opened in the computer. So, for that, you will just go to that particular folder and double click on it. So, when you double click on it, the folder opens and whatever exists inside it is opened inside. Okay. Now, next thing is how to rename a file or folder. You remember I told you when we were creating a folder that when you right click, a folder is created and you can rename it. So, like by default, when a file is created, the name of the file comes like document1. If a folder is created, the name of the folder comes like folder1, folder2, like that. But folder 1, folder 2 or document 2 will not solve your problem. If the folder is of half yearly exam, if the folder is of students record, if the folder is of the friends party, you have to name the folder so that its name just tell you what the folder is all about. Right? Suppose you have so many worksheets of maths, of computer. So you are going to create a folder and name it as worksheets. So immediately when you require your worksheets, you will not search it in folder 1, folder 2, folder 3. You will simply click on folder of the name worksheet and you will get the explored worksheets over there. So that's the purpose of naming the files. Now what we do is we right click on the file or the folder which you want to rename, and then this drop down will open. You'll find here rename is written at the bottom, last second before properties. You could see it rename is written here. So rename option is clicked here, and then you click on it and you just name the folder whatever name you want to give. I hope it's clear. Good. Show me your thumbs up. Lovely. Now we learn another very important thing, that how to create a shortcut. My first question is that what is shortcut? Why do we require shortcuts? And then we'll talk about how to create a shortcut. So shortcut is basically a link. So what is shortcut? We suppose we have a file which is inside a drive, inside a folder. So that means there's a long path. And every time when you have to open that file, it takes a long time. Clicking 1, clicking 2, clicking 3, clicking 4, and you get exhausted. Oh, very tedious job. No. We have a solution for that. And the solution is we create a shortcut. So shortcut is a link that you can place on any location to get the instant access to a particular document or particular file. Okay, it can be any file or any folder. So we can create the shortcuts for the files or folders which we require more frequently. And make it your habit that you require a file, create a shortcut on your desktop, just click on it, and without going inside the folder, you'll just get it popped up on your screen. That gives you ease of working, right? So this is what Windows 10 provide you. Every time the ease of working is there, you feel comfortable when you work on Windows 10, right? So here we close part first of Windows 10, and we'll be learning more about it in part 2. Okay? Bye-bye for today. We'll meet again in the next class. Happy learning!